Hey, in this video I want to talk about the occasions when I was so high I thought I was going to die, when I was like felt so sick and I really got scared and panicked and felt really bad and braced myself like and questioned, will I get through this or what will be the end of this? So this happened with me like I don't know 5 to 7 times, mostly from smoking weed, but I can recall occasions on an acid trip, maybe 2 occasions. So with the weed part, mostly the cause was first of all not being 100% to begin with. So I was like not well rested, maybe hangover or groggy. I didn't had my nap or maybe drunk too much coffee or something was off and I wasn't like 100% to begin with. And the other factor is just smoking too much, maybe just kind of miscalculating my tolerance, like smoking as much as I would if I would have smoked a couple of days before every day. And let's say I was just smoking a week before and not in between, so my tolerance was low. And this is the tricky part about weed, that you smoke and you relatively fast you feel it, but I kind of suspect or from these experiences I realized the full come up and the peak of smoking can take like 15 minutes to appear. So when at the beginning you smoke several puffs and you feel pretty good, after 15 minutes it usually turned into like, oh, I'm really uncomfortably high. And this was like really just too intense. It was restlessness and it kind of was like a Tourette syndrome like feeling. So I hope you know what Tourette syndrome is, at least if you watch South Park, you probably know. So it said that it's caused by too high natural dopamine levels in the body, and these people are not just maybe unintentionally curse, but just do unintentional, inappropriate stuff like, I don't know, there is a cup of coffee in the hand and they throw it away, spank people, or really something that they don't want to do and gets them in trouble and they just take. So yeah, I really had these impulsive thoughts about and panic and discomfort and just too intense feeling about, I don't know, punching a hole in the wall or panicking and running away or yelling or just feeling so uncomfortable and uncomfortable that I do something that gets me in trouble or gets the attention of people, because there were maybe 1 or 2 times when I was like on the top of a mall. So having this discomfort and usually I was able to, not usually, all the time I was actually able to handle this thanks to, I guess, because I meditated a lot in my 20s. And so I developed this imagination of an electric circuit breaker that between my thoughts and acting out the thoughts there is this circuit breaker, and if I evaluate a thought or urge as stupid or useless or negative, I just break the circuit. But it's still very, very uncomfortable. And so I remember this happened with me also when on an acid trip, when on the peak, I did a small dose of MDMA and small dose of edibles on top of the acid, and the same feeling, like compulsive thoughts about, I don't know, going out and running around naked and yelling that I turned into an orange or something. And so when people say that, oh, acid can make you jump out of the window, I think it's some truth to it, that you can really do stuff, even something that to harm yourself or something. So really be careful with that. Yeah. So usually with occasions when I've smoked too much, so yeah, compulsive thoughts that I fortunately didn't acted out, feeling very, very dizzy. It's like you being on a ship and it's like a storm, like it's like feeling seasick, you're absolutely sick, feeling really bad. uh, all these like yellow points on in your vision show up, like your sugar level is crashed, like I can't see anything. When we were planning to go out in public, obviously I was like, we're not going anywhere, and I'm like braced myself, and I wanna ride this out. And usually in these kind of situations, uh, oh, another thing, I was just always scared of like puking, pissing, and shitting myself, which also fortunately never happened. So in these kind of situations, I usually just lay down and really put myself in, like, it's like I'm the windows, and I put myself in this minimal mode to like kind of ride it out. This was really useful for me in another occasions when none of these what I described already happened. It just, I was on acid, I was speaking, and I really felt a short of breath, and like I was breathing, and I was like, I'm not feeling that I get enough oxygen, and I was like, am I getting a heart attack or what's happening? And it was really useful for me there that the best thing for me to do. So I really try to practice stoicism in my life, and that overlaps when I'm high as hell. So I was concluding myself logically that the best I can do, both when I was short on breath, both when I was like panicking and dizzy and sick and everything, to lay down, try to calm down, try to kind of like have deep breaths, meditate, and try to have like a positive mindset that I will get through this. So and the rest occasion, I really imagine myself, I'm like the crew of Apollo 13, and I'm shooted out to the moon, which is a pretty accurate description when you're like Kai, that you're like on your spaceship. And so one thing about astronauts, like if you saw the movie about Apollo 13, it's kind of like dramatized, and it's like they are yelling with each other. It's like panic when the problem happens, and in reality, those were really boring guys. And in terms of how they talked they were dangerous situations, they kept their calm, and they were like. So they were really able to be calm in a dangerous situation. And I tried to be like that. I tried to imagine that I'm on this spaceship that is like disoriented, and I try to keep my calm. I try to stoically and logically tell myself that I shouldn't like panic and think I'm going to die or something. I should be like brave, and I'll get through this, and have deep breaths. And usually this solved the situation in like 10 to 20 minutes. I started to feel better, and fortunately that was the end of it. I felt better, and then I was okay. So I don't know, to be honest, I think I said everything in this video, and I really hope you had your warnings about not smoking too much, and when you smoke weed, really take your time between like small puffs to like wait it out to reach the peak, and maybe you feel that it's absolutely enough, and you will have a really mild creative high instead of like too much. And I really hope that you got a little advice of just what to do to lay down and try to be calm and brave. Okay, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please check out my other videos, and maybe consider subscribing to my channel.